Thank you, Jones. Your thoughts on a 1-1 draw here against Cheltenham this afternoon?
A little bit frustrated in terms of how we played and so on, but credit to Cheltenham. They stifled us. They put us under pressure especially from any dead ball situation and so on. So at the end of it, a little bit frustrated, but it's not a bad point when you look at it.
I mean, it'd be fair to say they probably certainly had the better of the first half, didn't they? In going in 0-0, courtesy of some couple of great saves from Christian Walton.
Yeah, I think he made some saves, whether they were great or reasonably routine. I don't know, because I think one from the long shot and so on, which we expect him to save. But we didn't really get going. And I'm not saying that because we played badly. I'm saying that credit to Cheltenham and so on. It's a difficult place to come, tight little pitch, the way they play, and so on. So it's we knew we had to be better. We started better second half, got the goal, and then we're disappointed to concede from a set play, because we've earmarked that because. Well, they've got, up until today, the 54% of their goals have come from set plays. So now that's probably slightly higher.
I mean, you mentioned the goal there for Danny Hilton, wasn't it? A lovely solo effort, flicks it past the defender and then rounds the keeper to slot home.
Yeah, look, I'm pleased for him. Pleased that Danny's gone on the score sheet again, and I said led the line, grafted up against three, sort of big, strong, very competitive centre half. So he had to go up against them. As I said, it was a difficult game. It's a very difficult game. I mean, you look at the table and you think, well, this is the given. You've got to win it. No, it's a difficult place to come. It really is. And I knew that because of how we like to play and what we like. We like space and so on. But today we didn't really have any. And with the threat that they had, especially from set plays, it's not a bad point.
And Danny was certainly up against it with those defenders. He seemed to get bumped and bruised a few times, but he didn't react, did he, at all? The frustration was clearly there on some of the challenges, but he's done well to avoid a yellow today.
Well, I'm glad, because, as I said, it's something he needs to avoid, because, as I said, he can't rack them up for silly little things. And as I said, no, I'm glad for him, because I said he's had a little bit of a rocket, but he's took everything in the right way and then come back, and I said he's got his goal today, and we're pleased.
He was one of three coming back. Scott Cuthbert, your captain, at the back. I mean, I thought he had an immense performance this afternoon. Some great headers away and comfortable on the ball.
Yeah, no, he was excellent. And as I said, and these games we need him, because, as I said, with an aerial threat, and not just one aerial threat, but they've got three centre halves who are 6 foot plus, two centre midfield players who are 6 foot plus and 6'3" and 6'4". They have front man who's plus 6 foot and thrives on that. So he needed to be, and as I said, they're a difficult side to play against. Difficult for us to get any kind of fluency or anything today. And to be fair, they played well. And I said I'm not delighted with the point, because I wanted to win. But in terms of the context of the week and our performance levels, that's not a bad point.
And James Justin continues at right back. He's put in some good performances from you since starting, hasn't he?
Oh, he's been excellent, and the young kid. And that'll be a real learning curve to him today, because he wouldn't have come across that aerial bombardment for, in the games he's played. Obviously the games that he played against Villa and then the other night Hartlepool and so on, and Tome against Doncaster, the aerial threat wasn't as sort of intense as this one was. So it's another learning curve for him, and he's a better player for it.
And just going back to Scott, I mean, last week he stretched it off. It looked a really serious injury, but credit to him, he's recovered from that, and he's been out there today for you. I mean, how impressed were you with his attitude for coming back from that injury?
Well, he might have been milking it, you never know. But no. As you said last week, we were hoping it was looking worse than it was, and that turned out to be, he banged his shoulder. He had a nerve problem, which meant he was numb, so that's what they were worried for, and so on. But no, he came back today and he led, and he's our captain, and it's fantastic. And we need him in these games, because he is a dominant one. He wants to go and attack it. He's aggressive, and you need that, because they had that kind of aggressive threat.
And you brought on Jonathan Smith in the second half. Not sure if you're aware, but that was his 150th appearance for Luton Town. So just a word on the midfielder.
Oh, excellent. No, he's top pro, and as I said, that didn't surprise me. He's a top pro, great lad. And I said it was one of those games we needed him today, in terms of, we weren't anywhere near our fluent best, but that was a credit to Cheltenham. It's not that we were poor, it's credit to Cheltenham. We could have been better, but when Jonathan came on, he gives us that little bit of a press and energy and so on. And as I said, we saw the game out. It was a few hairy moments late on, but you're going to get that when you come to this, this ground and so on. And as I said, I don't want to reiterate and think. I don't want to keep saying it's because it's not too dropped. It's a decent point.
So all in all, two away games in this week, and 2 points away from home, and 2 goals scored.
Yeah, I said we probably should have scored a lot more, and if we had taken chances on Tuesday night, then this would have been excellent. Excellent result. It would have been a fantastic week, 7 points. because we didn't take our chances the other night, then this it seems like, well, it's a little bit disappointing, but it's not. Over a context of a season, points are points, and they all add up. And it's important not to lose these games. It's important not to lose today against a side that, when we're not at our best, it's important not to lose games. And as I said, some will. And there's some at the top who've lost games today. Some have had good victories and so on. But over the context of the season, these will be important performances and important points.
After a lot of travelling in the last few days, it's back home for the next couple of games, and of course the EFL Trophy on Tuesday. We saw a lot of changes for the trip to Gillingham. Perhaps expecting you to make some changes for Tuesday night, given the travelling this week and the players.
Well, I'm going to put out a very, very strong squad, very strong team for Tuesday night, because we want to win the game. We're at home, a few need a game, and as I said, with the squad we got, we have quality right throughout it. So no, we'll be playing a very strong squad on Tuesday night.
Thank you very much.
There's quite a few good, impressive corner routines and free kick routines today. Is that something that you're working on in training to bring off in match?
If you look at our set plays in depth, they're reasonably inventive week in, week out. It's something we work very strongly on and meticulously on. And as I said, we could have had opportunities. It's a great opportunity for Cameron at a crucial time, because I think that would have meant we've gone in 2-0 lead and so on. But look, you have to have a threat coming from all angles, in play, set plays and stuff. We're not the biggest compared to a Cheltenham, so sometimes we have to be inventive, and we were. So yeah, decent.
Is there an element of get points away and win at home, and that'll get you where you need to be?
No, we want to win. We'd love to win at home, win away. But as I said, the important thing is that we keep picking up points and we don't, fall behind or anywhere or playing catch up. We're in a good position at the minute. It's very tight, but we're in a good position. And as I said, we've had a few that we probably should have won today. Was probably a fair result in terms of on clear cut chances. Was probably a fair result. And these are a decent side, so we're happy with that. Tuesday night we went away and we were by far the better side and should have won. So that I'm a little bit more frustrated, if you like, with that. But if we can pick up points away from home, we'd like to pick up threes, because they're vital, and we do. The Stevenage game where we went away and tried to win it. I'm a little bit more happy today than I was at the end of the Stevenage game, even though we created probably 10 times the chances we did today.